Hello, I'm Darla, and this channel is DK Boljat, and today I'm painting little paintings of Mount Hood. I'm going to finish them. So I've got on my palette white, quinacridone red, and ultramarine blue, and I'm going to mix some of the ultramarine blue and the red together and make a purple for the sky, for some of the clouds in the sky. And I'm going to jazz these guys up a little bit. So sort of a magenta right now, maybe. I want it to be sort of a little bit lighter. That means I'm going to have to pull in some white. And I'm going to get a little bit more blue. I'm glad you're here with me. This will be adding into the clouds that are already there. There we go. Get a little bit more blue. And white. And this is Blick paint and also Liquitex. And some of the blue. There we go. A little white to that. Not much. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the clouds. Starting with you. We'll start with you. Just go with the sky. The way the sky is going already. And over the sides. And then I need to match it in the water. And what I was using before was just the blue and brown, making a gray. I'm going to paint over the sides as well, so that it's not missing. There we go. And I've got yellow. I can grab the yellow. So I can make some of the color that I already have in the water, which would be yellow and quinacridone red. So I'm going to grab some CAD yellow. This is student grade. And put it with the red and make the orange like what we had in the water to begin with. There we go. Plenty of yellow. I won't use all that, but it's okay. So I'm going to make a nice orange. I'll show you how much yellow I got on here. I got enough for a few paintings. We'll get that and a little bit of the quinacridone red and make the orange. And now I want it to be peach, and to make it peach I need to add white to it. And that'll peach it up. All it needs. I'm using a little fan brush, and I didn't mention that before, but this little fan brush is a 10/0. Okay. And come in here with this peachy color. Put it in the clouds. And over the side. Maybe a little bit at the top. I'm going to put some of this in the water as well. I'm going to grab some more on my brush and put it in the water to match. So it's got that nice vibrant peach color in the middle. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here with me, painting. Yeah, I'd love to hear if you're painting with me, following along. If not, that's okay too. It's all right. You don't have to be. Let's make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to take out some of the white by getting more of the color in there without adding white. There we go. And I can put that in the water. It's pretty intense. And the black in the trees had already dried. The mountain color had already dried. There we go. And a little bit of yellow right at the beginning, right at the where the water is reflecting the mountain. I'll put a little bit in there. And I was going to add some white in the water. Turn it sideways here. So first I'm going to put in a little bit of yellow right where it's coming, right where it's meeting the trees. I know why it's doing that. It's kind of see-through. It's because it's kind of see-through. So let me put instead white. Let me do that. Yellow is transparent. So I'm going to get a little brown brush and put in the white. I'll load that. Put it in right at the base where the water is meeting this. I don't need it to be, I know that's a really thick line. I'm not worried about it. It will fix it. I want this line to be parallel to the bottom of the paper, or the bottom of the canvas. I knew what I meant. There we go. Just go straight across. And I'm going to get it pretty much over to the other side, but let's see if we can get that pretty much straight. It'd be nice if we could just do one swoop all the way across. One fell swoop, just all the way across. No stopping. Okay, that's plenty. And then I'm going to clean that up with the fan brush. So it's the same fan brush I was using for the clouds, but I'm going to use this to shore this up a bit. There we go. I'm just using, it's damp. I've wiped up the excess water. I got to get the cat hairs off of it. Watson has jumped up here. I'll keep the cat hairs off the painting. I don't think they're necessary on there. He does, but I don't. There we are. That's going to be perfect. Let me get this side here. I just noticed there's a bit of a smudge with the purple here. Let me get that off. All right, let's turn you the right way and see what you look like. Yeah, you look pretty good. this right here is kind of like a hill. Now water would always find its own level. You're not going to have a little hill there. So I'm going to come in here and clean that up. I would normally come from the other side underneath the water, but I'm going to come right on top because it's going up a little bit. There we go. And it doesn't, we'll put it back. Same here, a little bit on the top here. I'm just moving that line around. You can be a paint pusher. It's really easy to do. Get enough water, stiff enough bristles, and you can push that paint anywhere you want it to go. Okay, so I love the way it looks right in the middle. I'm going to put a little bit more right here, just a little bit. I don't need it to be a lot. Oh, I'm smudging the paint in the sky. There we go. A little bit in here. Push it down. I'm dodging cat hairs on the canvas. I need to fold it over when he wants to be close, which is all the time. He's one of those cats that follows you around. He wants to be with you. He wants your attention. So you can't blame him. I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I'm looking at here. Okay, so right up in the sky, I see it could use a little bit more white and some of the purple, and that'll be fine. I'll put that on there and do it. That's what's bugging me about it. Just where there's hard lines of the purple. There we go. I'm just adding a little bit of white and the purple color together, or the blue. It's like a blue purple. And I hope the music is not too loud. I've been really working at getting that just right. Let's fix you over here. There we go. Because they're going to see all the way around it. It's going to be on a little easel, which just came in the mail today. I have to try that out. So the reason I'm doing this is because I don't like the way it's separating. I want to get it thicker paint. It's got too much water in this paint. We'll fix it. It just needs a little bit more pigment, not so much water. Need some more ultramarine. Make that color again. Close to it anyway. There we go. That'll work. That'll work just fine. I added a little bit of white to it to tone it down a bit. It's got a lot of the darker color in there. There we go. And I'm just going side to side with it. Not really concerned about it being perfect. It's clouds. It's going to change in just a few seconds, so we're not worried about it. But they, like I said, they'll be able to see from each angle. And take it off and look at it, of course. There we go. That corner. I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to fix that because I just got a little bit on the side there that's going to need some fixing. But I really like the white line on there. I think it looks good. That's exactly what I was going for. Okay, I'll get you over the side here. There we are. I'm going to get the top too, and then I'm going to move on to the next one. And then I'll end up signing the back. That'll give me more room to sign. And you know, I should carry these on my website too, instead of just bringing them down to Cedar and Stone and selling them. Okay. Okay. The other thing I was going to do is a couple lines in the water. And I could keep working at that, doing it, but I think that that's going to do it once I do that. The little brush that I was using for the white, that's what I'm going to use. Do I have more white? I do right here. And just a couple bits of, a couple of reflections in the water, wherever they seem like they would be natural. Then I'm going to push them to where they're just a thin line. I don't need them to be snow. They're just going to be water. There we are. Okay, good enough. I'm going to move to the next one. That one good for now. And I don't have to do it exactly the same. In fact, I'm not gonna. That'd be kind of boring. But I'm going to do the white line first. This one's pretty yellow. So let's get that white line in all the way across. Right where it meets the ground. And I want to make sure it's going to be a straight line. So just looking at it here, I see I need to bring this part up. Push it up a little bit. And I'm just dragging the fan brush underneath there. There we go. I don't have to paint it perfectly. I can do that later and it's fine. Now I'm going to thin it out, make it thinner. And it might be, I might need to push it down on the other parts because it looks like it's a little high on those parts. It's just supposed to be where the light's hitting the top of the water, the surface. There we go. The top of the water. Top of the water to ya. Let's get that on the bottom here. Yeah, the light's going to hit the top of the water. The surface. It just gives the illusion of that being water. Bring this one down. This one's a little bit high. Okay, clouds. Get a fan brush. There's my wet fan brush right there. And I'm going to do some clouds that are just blue and white, not so much the pink or red. No, just the blue. The red will stay with the orange. and bring them in here. I'm just doing little circles. And you can use the corner of the brush, or you can use just the round part of the brush. You just don't want it leaving a round print like the fan brush has. Put that in there. Red and, I know what I'm thinking. Yellow and blue are good complementary colors. Here. And I'll put it in the water. Needs to be toned down a bit with some gray. It had it before. I can put some in there. That'd be brown, adding brown to it. And there's parts of the sky with lights hitting it, like the lights coming through. I'm gonna grab brown and also a little bit more white. I have it right here. The brown's gonna cut down the blue, make it less blue. Dull it down. It's gonna gray it down a little bit. Just a little bit, I don't need much. Okay. And I don't want it to be green, so I'm just gonna get it to be a sort of a gray. All right. And lighten it up a bit. It needs a little bit of white with it. There we go. And typically I would spray this down so it doesn't dry. And I will later, but right now I'm just going to paint this in. And this is sort of a gray blue. There we go, over the sides too. And on the top. Okay. I'm just blending in the clouds, blending their edges, so they're not a hard line. I haven't done the peach or the yellow yet on there, and I can. I'm gonna add a little white to the yellow. Brighten it up. I'm going to put a little bit right in front of that mountain. I'm adding white to the yellow, mixing it in, getting it on the fan brush. I'm going to put a little bit in front of this mountain, like where the reflection is. I'll blend it out. Reflections aren't 100%. They're a suggestion. go. Pull that across. I still want to see that reflection of the mountain in the water. And I can also take the, goodness. Can I turn down the music a little bit? It's just getting a little carried away. I think that these songs provided by YouTube are great and everything, but they, yeah, the volume changes. All right, I can put this, blend that line right there. There we are. Just gonna make it so it's not chalky anywhere. Chalky. Always needs either water or more paint. Okay. And I'm going to go for some peach in here instead of just yellow. I think a little bit of peach would be good. Peach color. Not as peach as the other one, but a little peach. Mixing color. And I'm going to put in the little bit of clouds. Adding a little more pink to that. And right over the top. A little bit of peach up here. And we're going to reflect it in the water. And a little bit here too, in the water. There we go. I need to make sure this paint is thin. That's something I learned from Bob Ross, is your thin paint will stick to a thicker paint. So if you're having trouble with it sticking, thin it down. There we go. And do I have more of that peach color? I probably could have some out here. Right here on the edge. It'll be a peachy painting of Mount Hood here in Oregon and a sunrise. Use a Q-tip to clean off part of that. And this I can blend out a little bit right here. I'll probably save the last one for next video. I don't want to go on too long, and I've already been on here a little while. Let me see if I can bring this up. There we go. Anything I do today, I can take off. I can change it. I can move that line around. There we go. Yeah, okay. I'm going to call that good for now. So I'm so glad you joined me. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you, my friend. Oh, please, I forgot to say, will you please subscribe to my channel if you like watching these process videos? Yeah, that's DK Boljat. Thank you. God bless you.